Well, hello.
Disruptor.
Welcome to the International Qualifiers. CIS, that's our region. We're going to do 6 games in total. And we are going to start off with Anji versus Vega Squadron. Better yet, Cyber Anji versus Vega Squadron. And you might think, Cyber Anji?
10 seconds remaining.
Who's that? Who are those people? Well, you actually might not know the team name, but the players definitely should ring some sort of a bell, at least for a couple of the players there. We have Sidoi, who has been around for ages. Actually, this might be the guy that has his nickname being a tribute to that Sidoi, but also that guy has been around for quite a while. Yoki is, I guess, the most, Yoki and Ophir are the most quote-unquote famous ones, most known ones, and Pikachu also has made some impact on the scene a couple of months ago, and they have been together for a couple of months. Actually, they've been doing quite okay. They've been like top 10 in CIS, and that says something. There's a lot of CIS teams out there, but they're up against Vega Squadron, who is on the a bit higher on the top in terms of CIS teams, with Afterlife, Seoma, the Slayer, G, Silent, and the Real You.
Radiant team banned.
The Real You? I will figure out what his name is in a second, don't worry.
Team banned.
But we're gonna see some CIS Dota, and I think regardless of who's playing, that's gonna be very exciting. Cyber Anji and Vega Squadron, they're the ones to start it off, to kick it all off. There's gonna be a lot of games for the CIS scene. I believe as the only region, the open qualifiers were completely full. That just gives you a bit of an indication on how many teams there really are playing and fighting for these TI invites, TI slots rather, for the qualifiers. Obviously, only 2 of the open qualifiers made it through, but we'll see. We'll see how this will pan out. So we got Disruptor and Night Stalker, 2 heroes that are pretty great. Night Stalker with the extra nighttime vision allows Disruptor to glimpse people back easier. Already some great synergy there, but if you look at Vega Squadron's lineup, you got Darkseer and Train Protector. Now, first of all, Darkseer is a very strong laner. Train Protector makes all lanes stronger, so we already got some very strong lanes coming out from them. And then if you're talking about synergy, there's a lot of synergy there with a Vacuum into Overgrowth. And the Vacuum doesn't even need to be perfect or anything like that. Just maybe to put a stray one out into the Overgrowth. So that is already looking pretty good as well. I do like the Night Stalker as well. Night Stalker has been making a big impact lately in a lot of games, and is just promoting extra aggression every nighttime, and that fits CIS style so much. Just the forcing aggression. It could be a tricky one as well, because I just mentioned that Vega Squadron has already got 2 strong laners, or 2 heroes that, well, one is a strong laner and the other makes every other lane stronger as well. And Night Stalker, he wants to be playing against weak lanes. He wants to try and gank someone at minute 4 or minute 12. Second nighttime is still pretty important as well. Maybe a bit more important than it used to be compared to the first nighttime anyway. But you do want to try and find a kill in nighttimes. And he might have a tricky time doing that. At least with the 2 heroes picked up right now, and there's obviously a lot more heroes to come. We got some bans coming out there as well. We got some Shadow Shaman ban, Dragonite, Batrider, and Queen of Pain, and I don't really notice the first four are bans that these 2 teams ban out because they know each other very well. They know each other extremely well. They've been in teams together in the past. They know what to expect, and they know what they don't want to deal with. There you go. That is something a Night Stalker can be happy about. A Lion. Now, Lion is a very squishy hero. One of the slowest heroes as well, by the way. I say one of the... used to be the slowest hero, but I think the Crystal Maiden is now slower than he is. Yes, I think so. Regardless... squishy, slow hero. Night Stalker, he's gonna have a field day. Train Protector is gonna have to keep a close eye on that Lion. I do really like the Lion here, because obviously it offers a lot of control, which Train Protector, sure, he has an Overgrowth level 6, but that's it. Darkseer has a Vacuum, that's about it, if you can even call that control, but Lion offers a lot of control. And you have to also be very comfortable in
seconds
your
remaining.
positioning, and I think that that's gonna be it's gonna be fine.
Reserve time.
I think that's gonna be something that that Vega can do pretty well. Lone Druid picked up by Anji as well. Perhaps they saw Admiral Bulldog playing that in the qualifiers. Now he has been coming back a couple of more times. Not that often though. Not a very common pick still. Perhaps something in the CIS scene that I might have missed. Strong hero regardless. It is kind of interesting to see. I mean, I just told you guys that lanes are strong. Something that you can do if you know that you can't kill heroes, you can at least kill towers. And Lone Druid's really good at killing towers. And Night Stalker is really good at luring people away from towers, because you're going to be diving elsewhere and people are going to then try and help out the person that's getting dove upon, and then Lone Druid can just go his merry old way and take down some towers and get some extra gold on the board. Puck picked up as well by Cyber Anji. Some more heavy control, and another hero that works great together with Night Stalker. An amount of silence coming out from these guys. Oh. 3 heroes with the silence, 2 on a relatively short cooldown. I mean, that's not fun to play against. Not if you're Lion. Like, that's... Sure, the other heroes are not really fun to play against silence either, but Lion, he's got that great crowd control, but you can't do that if you're silenced all the time. The Bristleback is one that can deal with that a little bit better, perhaps, but also he just wants to spam his spells. He is very difficult to take down, though. And that seems to be a little bit of the theme of Vega Squadron's lineup so far. Again, I do really like Cyber Anji with we're going to push towers instead, but it's at some point they're going to have to take down the Bristleback. And if you want to take down the Bristleback, you kind of have to have a hero that is going to be building a Silver Edge. And none of their heroes do that so far. None of their heroes are like your typical Silver Edge carriers. So I kind of think that that's what we should be looking for the last pick of Anji, seeing if that Silver Edge can fit somewhere, because that just makes it so much easier to deal with Bristleback. Unless you're thinking that you're just going to be able to run over them and take down the towers really early, but I think that's going to be very difficult to do. Vega Squadron have a really sturdy lineup, and I'm constantly talking about how Anji is the one to need to be making the first move, or at least they kind of do need to make the first move. That's a little bit of their problem at the moment. I'm hoping that that they can also have a bit more late game insurance, if you will, on the side of Anji. On the side of Vega, I feel like they're very comfortable with their draft. They've got sturdy lanes, they've got heroes that will be able to take the farm, and at some point they'll just march down towers, and the fights look like they will last very long, which will benefit them, or rather, it will benefit Bristleback most of all. But it will benefit them a lot, and they can just siege high ground with that as well. But let's see what they are going to go for with that last pick. They ended up banning the Razor, which is a very good hero against Bristleback and against Death Prophet, actually. That's the way that they will push down towers, by the way. You can, like I said, sieging down towers, and that would be a slow siege with Bristleback, Lion, Darkseer, and Treant. But Death Prophet will make everything go just that little bit faster. I really think that they have a very nice, well-rounded draft coming out from them. Cyber Anji, they need something strong. They already got some tower push, they got some gank, but they need a bit more oomph coming out from their lineup. And something that hopefully will get that Silver Edge as well, because otherwise, are you going to get a Night Stalker with a Silver Edge? I don't really think so. I think Night Stalker as a 4 is the best way to play him right now. We might not even have him as a 4. We might have him as a bit of a core if you want to put Night Stalker on off lane, Lone Druid on the safe lane, Puck mid. I mean, that could be an option. Let's let's take a look at what they're going for last. They're ticking into their bonus time. They still have about 25 seconds left, so they still have got that that time. That's all good. But let's see. Let's see, indeed.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm just waiting for the pick, you guys. Oh, Enigma. I really like that. It gives that extra control. But normally when you pick Enigma, I guess you got the Disruptor to follow up on. So you wanna be able to kill people while they're stuck in the black hole. And the question is, can they do that? I'm not too sure. I am not too sure at all. But we're gonna try. They are gonna try, rather. Yoki will play the Enigma. Sodoy on Lone Druid. Pikachu on the Puck. Night Stalker by Nofer. And Shavash on the Disruptor. And, why aren't...
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, they have the strategy time. That's the one. Sorry, guys. I forgot about that, to be honest. There we go. The real you is Aloha Dance, I believe. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? Yeah. Oh, what's this? Ah, yes. I couldn't remember if I still had the setting for the camera, but I guess I did. So hopefully you guys will not get too annoyed with my camera work. We have a pause coming straight out, but that gives us some time to do this. Total number of smoke kills by the end. This always gets a little bit buggy, so we're gonna go 5 to 8. Although I'm thinking it might be more than that, but 5 to 8 seems like a good one. Yeah. It does mean that I'm expecting Anji to get a couple of kills out of that one, but perhaps in the early stages of the game. Team with the first barracks kill, I think it's going to be Vega Squadron. Will there be a teleport cancelled by stun by 10 minutes? Now let's look at the disables that we have. Vega does have Lion. By a stun? I'm thinking no. Total numbers of player deaths by 25. What are we thinking? Are we thinking 25, 1 minute a kill? Or 0-15, nobody dies? Nah, we're just gonna go this one. Slightly extreme. I would think maybe one less, but... yeah, I think that's it. Alright, you guys. There we go. We got Aloadans playing the Bristleback Afterlife on the Darkseer. G playing Death Prophet Silent on the Lion, and TPing out to be the first one on the lane. Sioma the Slayer on the Tree and Protector. Moving to top lane. By the way, you guys remember that period when Death Prophet was absolute god tier and an extreme boss in basically all the Dota games? You couldn't move without seeing a Death Prophet played in the game. G was the master of the game, and I can't remember which game it was, but it was a TI game. Or maybe even a TI qualifier game. He was Death Prophet, and he just did not die. He just did not die at all. He just, with all the life draining and just overall being tanky and all. I'm looking forward to see if we can do that again, because that will be an interesting one. Obviously, Death Prophet has been nerfed quite a bit since that time, but also been buffed again, I believe. This Tree Protector. Let's see if they can find him. They've got some detection. Yeah, they do, but they only have 1 sentry, and they probably don't want to use that 1 sentry right now, because if they do, then they don't have a sentry on the lane. So let's see. Sioma, can you do it? Can you do it? Look at all the people walking around. Looking at... oh, he did it! He did it, you guys! 3 Vega runes. Sioma the Slayer victorious already. How about that, huh? I do have to note that this observer ward is a really nice one. Normally, if you're going to counter it, you're going to counter around this area. So, I don't think that ward should be countered. Might have been spotted by Treant that they placed it, but overall pretty good ward coming out from Anji. Now Anji will have Enigma playing on the off lane, and he'll play against a safe lane Darkseer. This should be a really good lane for Darkseer, and Joki, his main job is to make sure that he doesn't feed any Eidolons, because that's gonna skyrocket that Darkseer if he does do that. Mid lane we got of course G playing the Death Prophet, and he's playing against Puck, so that's the normal lane, but we got No Fear in the equation as well, and he's just gonna try to make G's life a little bit more tricky and more difficult. And it is really needed as well, because they need to try and shut G down, because he's gonna be the driving force behind the pushes coming out from Vega Squadron. That's also why Silent comes around to hang out in mid lane, because he wants to make sure that G does have a good start. And does make sure that he gets something done. In the meantime, on the top lane is a Treant and Bristleback lane. Oh, it is, Seedoy is not gonna have a fun time here. He is gonna get some help. There is a Disruptor around, but also Disruptor is just very squishy. You don't want to tank anything. No Fear rotated from mid to top. Also, Lion is on his way here again, so I think this is gonna be the lane where we're gonna spend most of our attention, because this should be a really interesting lane to follow. Defensive lane coming out from Anji, I would imagine. The only reason they could get a kill is if they end up chasing someone down. If they try to run away from, like they did just now, with a couple more levels there will be a glimpse. If you try to run away from Anji, you're done for. They have a lot of chase potential. They have roots from the bear potentially. They have blinking pucks. They have dream coils. This is a team that's gonna say, well, you're either gonna fight us or you're gonna die. Because the moment you start fleeing, that's not gonna be a happy ending for you. So, will be fun to see if Vega lets themselves be pushed into a corner. I don't think they will. They are also probably knowing that they can't really run away from Anji, and they will make sure that they have the tools to fight. Hey, there you go, Eidolons. No microing away from Yoki there. He does get quite a bit of harassment in, but still enough. Tango school round for Afterlife should be just fine. And he's gonna get a soul ring by the looks of things as well. He should indeed just be fine. And the sentry that we saw earlier on Shavash on the Disruptor, he ended up placing that to counter the Observer, which is still good because you get that 100 gold, so you can buy another sentry if you want. He didn't do that yet, and he doesn't really have any detection right now to make sure that he sees that Treant Protector. And it means that they can just get the Treant Protector can just get some free harassing, which is well, there's a lot of harass. This guy is not an easy cookie to deal with in the lane. Pool coming out from No Fear. He does not manage to get it though, and the stun actually comes out. So, you know, you're very far away from the tower. If that Treant Protector was in a better position, they could have gone for him, but he ends up revealing himself and getting harassed himself. So Lone Druid is safe. By the way, there is someone being very trigger happy with the Quelling Blade here. Ooh, hello Adans, in a bit of a tricky spot there. He takes a lot of damage, but he is a Bristleback. He still ends up going down, but perhaps his Night Stalker done for as well. No, they get that kill on the Treant Protector. 2 down on the side of Vega Squadron. And there's the second sentry instantly. Anji with those 2 kills and the sentry now placed as well. They've got this top lane under control, and it looked like a very scary situation at the start, but those 2 kills definitely make a difference for them. And we instantly see already Treant Protector rotating bottom instead, trying to make a difference on that side. In the meantime, in the middle lane, we got the Puck sitting on 22 last hits for 14, 16 to 4. And Puck himself, that's a sad thing. His phase shift was on cooldown. He did not realize that Treant Protector would be there, especially not with the haste rune dead Puck. And that is something that G needed, because I just mentioned the last hits and G was not on the winning end of that. No Fear comes in to try and make sure to get some extra levels while his Puck isn't around. But they'll rotate the lanes now. Perhaps they can actually kill the Death Prophet. They're gonna rotate to the trees. This Shrine is on 2 seconds though. They should know this. It's 5 minutes. Shrine is alive. Maybe they instantly want to just make sure that that Shrine gets used. And they do make sure of that. They don't get anything else out of that though. I do believe that Silent may have seen that ward being placed. It's nighttime. Must have been on the edge of the vision. The ping does come out. We'll see if that gets countered. Some nice warding coming out from Anji. They also placed wards in that mid lane, getting some extra control. And again, during nighttime, this Night Stalker comes around again. There's the living armor helping out, and also the life drain. They get the kill on No Fear, looking for Pikachu. His phase shift is on cooldown. He gets hexed up, gets stunned up, and gets killed off. And last hit going to Silent. That's a ridge line. He can finally afford some boots. And in the meantime, on the top lane, Aloadance left his vices up against 2 and could not deal with that. Too much damage coming out, too much harassment coming out. And another kill going the way of Anji. 3 for 3, that makes it. With 2 kills going the way of Vega, of course, in that middle lane. In the meantime, Darkseer has just been on the bottom lane. He now rotates to the jungle to let the Bristleback have the lane, because Bristleback did not get that much farm. Actually, I say that. Bristleback got decent farm. Not gonna lie, he actually did just fine. But obviously he's gonna get more on the bottom lane, and also he's a hero that can maybe even better than Darkseer abuse the fact that there's Eidolons around and try to get the kills and last hits on those little creatures of free gold. This is not really free gold, but still nice. Excuse me, I have to cough. Sorry, probably should have muted myself for that, but you know, I wouldn't be able to mute myself in the game, so it felt unfair to give different coverage to people in the game and the people on the stream. So both got to enjoy that cough. How about that? Fun times, fun times. Overall, by the way, this game, I mean, the kill score is very even. Net worth is very even. I was not expecting the lanes to be that even, and I do think that Vega Squadron, it shouldn't be that even for them, because they got a tree and protector, which generally should mean that they have a bit of a better laning stage. But this is all contributing to how well Anji have played this and how active No Fear has been so far. They've really been finding their limits and pushing their limits, especially on the top lane. Getting those first 2 kills was massive for them. In the meantime, Puck ended up going bottom lane, Bristleback. He thought he could farm safely, and he gets black holed for that as well. Oh, the poor baby. That is, I mean, it's a very important kill for Anji to get, of course, and it's worth it. That black hole is worth it to use at that point, because it could easily have turned into a triple kill for Bristleback. We all know how Bristleback can just turn fights like that around, but yeah, good kill for Anji. Very convincing for them, and very coordinated as well. They knew exactly that they needed to strike that Bristleback down. Now, again, there's still Darkseer in the game. Wait a second. This is a scary Death Prophet. Or rather, a scared Death Prophet. He's trying to life siphon. He's trying to force them away. His ultimate is still on for a couple more seconds, and it does look like he might be able to get the heal back from that. He gets the heal indeed, and it is the Puck that has to pay with his life. The tower ended up dropping. Didn't even get denied. That was a great engagement from Vega. And in the meantime, I got a tip on how to pronounce Anji's name. And Anji is the team. The J in Anji is like a J sound, rather Anji. Anji. Okay, Anji. I can do that. I mean, I say their name a lot, and we're gonna cover them a lot more today, so it's good to know how to properly pronounce the name, and I hope I do it properly right now. So even though they got to kill the Bristleback earlier, looks like they might be able to harass him a bit again. I don't think they're gonna get a kill. It's daytime after all. But Anji is, I mean, I said it earlier, they are the team that has the pressure on them to make a move. They have the pressure on them to try and make things happen with their lineup. Their high ground defense is pretty okay, but at the same time, it's going to be very difficult for them to later on kill a fat Bristleback. So keeping him down, or at least attempting to keep him down, is one of the things that they need to do, because they're just not going to have the kill potential later on if they let Vega Squadron do what they want. That mid tier 1 tower, by the way, was the first tower to go down in the game. Ooh, hey, we have one thing correct. Yay, go us. Do you get anything for those, by the way? I don't think so. Ooh, hex up. That's a Puck. Is there some backup? There is backup close by, but are they there in time? It doesn't look like it. They're ending up just going for the rune, and better yet, Tree Protector just ended up sitting down. Oh, shrining. This is a mana shrine. They were decent on the health. They ended up just wanting to get the mana to make sure that they can They can gank. Smoke is out. Where are they going? Is this? This is a puck kill? Stun misses. Smoke misses. Rotation fails. And Pikachu is fine. Just fine indeed. Look at this item build by Enigma. We have got him going for a BKB first. And this is some respect coming out from Silent, first of all. Silent as a line is very good in his positioning, and he's never gonna be the main priority to catching the black hole. You want to catch that bristleback, you want to catch the death prophet preferably. So Lion is normally going to stand very far back, and his spells have pretty long range, and that means that Lion is going to be the designated target, Silence is going to be the designated target to interrupt those black holes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And this tower is should be living. So by getting a BKB, that Enigma is going to make sure that he's not going to get interrupted. And he can make sure that even though, like, he will have to walk in to get a black hole. Let's get that out there first. And that just shows they are going to need to be the ones to go for the fight. And then in comes Enigma walking from the trees. It's also some level of control by him, and also relying on that Night Stalker with an extra vision. An extra night vision to get the fights going. But yeah, BKB first. I really like that coming out from the Enigma. We got the mechanism done by Afterlife as well. We got the Veil ready. It looks like, apart from Silent, who's not here yet, this looks to be a fight. And it looks like both teams are interested in fighting, with a bit of with a backup coming there. Yoki, he has that black hole available. Just needs to find a good place. Maybe waiting for a good Dream Coil coming out from the puck. Now, who's jumping in who first? This tower is in the nigh range. How badly does Vega want to fight here? That's the question. Because they're still here. Lion has made his way over as well. There's a double damage room that is about to run out. This is a time where perhaps, yeah, Anji should back up with that exorcism going off. If they would have fought, they would have lost the fight. And they also had Lone Druid already rotating back top, so they were outnumbered regardless. They do a very deep ward here. I do like that. I'm not sure how useful it's going to be for them. Normally you want to place those deep wards to help Night Stalker find targets. And again, Lion is the only real target that he might be able to get. And even that's going to be tricky, because if he gets caught out first, then he is going to die instead. 4 people moving forward, going for this tier 1 tower. Anji looking to take the first tower on the side of Vega Squadron. They have lost their own tier 1s, all of them already. Fortification is still on cooldown from using it in the mid lane earlier. And they have to do this with all 5 people here, and I say all 5, I know Puck is very far away there. But no other place on the map is getting pressured at the moment, and this means that there's free reign for Vega Squadron on the other lanes for now. Invisible Darkseer sees the Night Stalker. We still don't have Lion and Death Prophet here. Death Prophet doesn't have Exorcism anyway, but do they want to defend this tower? Bristleback is going to try. Perhaps there is a vacuum. There's no wall just yet, not yet skilled. But Disruptor coming in, making sure that Bristleback can't do anything. Bristleback won't die from this, but also will be prevented to chase, as his HP now is just a little bit too low. Loving the Midnight Pulse under that as well. Midnight Pulse is one of the better tools to deal with high HP heroes, percentage-based damage. There's a bit of a stalemate right now, as I believe Vegas is pretty happy with how things are going. They can have the freedom to farm. They only lost 1 tier 1 tower right now, and it's kind of predictable what Anji is doing. Anji, sorry, constantly fall back into that. Anji is just trying to take down the towers one by one. It looks like they're going to gather up top now to get the tier 1 on that site. They just need some more map control. It's very understandable, but it's also fairly predictable, and that means Vega also have a bit more freedom to just get some extra gold on the board. Whoops, I forgot to swap to net worth, but Lone Druid is still doing quite okay on himself. The bear almost having enough money to buy that relic. And perhaps once that Radiance is online, we're gonna see Vega also try and be a bit more proactive. So far they've, apart from taking that tier 1 on the bottom, they have been just fairly defensive, fairly reaction based, to make sure that they just are getting the gold, they're getting the farm, no pressure. No pressure at all. Poor No Fear. There's a Lone Druid farming, there's a Puck farming, there's an Enigma farming. What can these two do? They can just wait for gold to come in from towers, especially for a support. It's always very tricky if your team's not able to take down towers very early. You're gonna be very poor for a while. And for No Fear, it probably is a little bit easier to find some farm, and he managed to be involved in 3 out of the 4 kills already. By the way, that bet is definitely not gonna happen with the amount of kills that I thought were gonna happen before 25 minutes. Immortality. Yeah, nice ages. Now again, the question is, I mean, they used exorcism for that. Are we gonna see Vega Squadron try to make use of that Aegis and push? Is that something that's gonna happen at the next exorcism? Surely they want to have that again. We do have the wall available right now, by the way. Darkseer, level 11. Once he gets level 12, we'll have that level 2 as well. So we'll have the wombo combo plays, if you will.
The coin of the realm. What surge is this?
The Radiance for the Bristleback as well. He has a little while to go though. Sitting on 1400 gold. In the meantime, Pikachu's got his Blink, got his Veil.
Gold remains.
And the Blink dagger comes next from Enigma. The Black Hole BKB is ready for use, ready for action. First one, of course, the 10-second BKB. Which, in a way, is a bit of a downside for Enigma, because having that BKB and a longer cooldown is a little bit less ideal. Even though, of course, it lasts longer as well. But we'll see how that's gonna go. Night Stalker. Pop in the darkness. There's a smoke. Night Stalker's the only one that's not in the smoke. He has another one in his inventory if he wants to make sure that he is smoked as well. But we'll find out. In comes the tree and smoke revealed. They know he's there. The sentry gets placed. The overgrowth not there. The silence comes first, and that means this tree is done for. That's the way to open a fight right there. And see that vacuum wall though. The black hole coming in. BKB up there as well. And it's a Bristleback that's stuck in there, but he did not die. The focus was not there. And in the end, it's a Night Stalker that ends up going down. The Lion did get up, picked up. Aegis gets popped. Bristleback will be back in a little while. The Exorcism was off cooldown again. Pikachu taking a beating there, but he should be able to orb himself out. And there's no real backup. There's a very speedy Bristleback with the Surge, but doesn't look like Vega Squadron can get the kills they want. They will end up being able to get the tower. And that's a very pricey tower. And they might not even get it completely. Yes, in comes the Druid. In comes the Bear, looking for the Entangle. Can they kill Bristleback? The real one this time. No Aegis anymore. A lot of stacks in that Quill Spray. You've got to be careful with that Bristleback. Malefice, he gets himself away. Surge. Vision coming in. Pikachu going forward. And yes, they get the Bristleback indeed. Chasing down the Death Prophet. No fear, having that Vision. Glimpse back. Vision provided by Night Stalker into the glimpse. That is a combination working out just fine. The exorcism is down, and that means that this Death Prophet should die. There you go, a little bit delayed by the Tree and Protector there. And in the end, Anji is the one coming out victorious there. Very nicely done. Sentry placed the moment they realized that the Tree and Protector was down, and him not being able to get that overgrowth in that fight, massive for the continuation of that fight for them. Well played by Shivash, for sure. Static Storm on point as well to get the Bristleback low and out of the fight for the first couple of minutes, and that first couple of seconds of that fight, meaning that Silent died, meaning that Disable that is coming out from Vega is just not there. There's no overgrowth, there's no Impale, there's no Hex. And just a vacuum, if you can call that control. A little bit control, yes. And that was an exorcism, or yeah, an exorcism fight, sure, that too, but that was an Aegis fight. Now that is a fight that I feel Vega Squadron should have won, but look at that. They were ahead on net worth, and that one fight can turn it all around. Back to 0, back to even. And as mentioned already, Vega Squadron should have been the ones coming out ahead in the laning stage. They barely did that. This is not really coming out that as far ahead as they probably would have liked. Now with that fight down. At least Black Hole's on cooldown, so they know that they can still finish off this tower. There's still also 2 other towers, 2 tier 2 towers on the map that they can go for before having to siege high ground. It does look like the roles changed a bit though. Anji earlier I said they are the ones needing to go for moves, needing to go apply pressure, and that's what they did in the first early game of this game. They did exactly what they needed to do. They made sure that Vega Squadron didn't come out ahead as far as they normally would have in the laning stage here. So, well done them. But now, the ball's on the other court. Vega Squadron, they're the ones trying to push down towers and getting that map control back. Let's see, is Nofer in trouble here? He pops his ultimate. Doesn't look like, yeah, he is in a trouble though. Ooh, careful there. Easily gets the heal as well. Well, now it feels like Vega's one with the pressure to make sure that that things happen on the map.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Almost
attack.
ready for the relic. I do believe that this lone druid has his radiance indeed. The radiance and a K gold to boot. Going for the AC. A very traditional build. Let's take a look at what else we find. Going for Hood. Interesting choice, by the way, to still go for Hood. Considering that there's a Veil. Oh, never mind. Hood. Never mind. No, it should be good, actually. Yes. It counters a little bit of the Veil of the Death Prophet. Especially if it goes for Pipe then afterwards.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still though, he's not going for Ags first. And it's so good to have an Ags. It's fine. It's fine. Puck is not there. Here comes the Hex, that's on the bear. They stun off the bear and they kill off the bear. Or did he just get resummoned? I think he might have gotten resummoned. Didn't see the 300 gold thing pop up. Nonetheless, the tower is saved. And a lot of people forced to go top to try and see if that was indeed Anji trying to find a fight. Vega needs to be ready if that's the case.
Here I am.
A lot of push and pressure coming out from Anji as well. Not necessarily pressure, if you will, but they've got, of course, the Lone Druid Bear. They got the Eidolons pushing the waves out. They don't really need to put themselves at risk to try and force the lanes out, force the waves out. And that is something that Vega Squadron only have in the form of the Iron Shell.
Dire's middle tower
Let's
is
see if
under
this
attack.
smoke is gonna achieve something. They know that this is the second bear. They know that if they kill this bear, there's not another one for another minute or so. And they should be able to kill that. He's taking quite the beating. But yeah, 40 seconds without a bear for Seedoy. A lot of net worth down the drain. You see net worth 1,300? No, it's not 13. 13,000? Yeah, most of that is on the bear, and the bear's not there. So, nice kill by Vega. But again, they use all their heroes for that, and they can't really, like, what do they get in return, right? They get maybe a bit of extra freedom because that bear's not pushing out the lanes. But if they don't get a tier 2 out of this, it is just time spent walking around killing a 300 gold target. A 300 gold, however nice it can be, it's not worth it. Not for 5 people to rotate that much. But perhaps this tier 2 will make up for that. Maybe they can even rotate from this tier 2 mid into the tier 2 bottom. They will maybe lose their own tier 1. They're actually all teleporting towards this top tower. Oh, Lion. He pops a shrine. He's still silenced. He can't do anything. This nighttime is really wrecking him. Now he can X up. He's right outside the static storm. He can make it happen. Ends up getting still most of his spells up before dying. Here comes a vacuum. In the wall. But the black hole coming out. Root. Cancelling that one. Nice position by Sioma. So far, already 2 down on the side of Vega Squadron. Looks like it's Anji that comes out ahead. But this Bristleback is still so very tanky. He might be able to chase people away. Still Puck moving forward perhaps. Nah, he's not gonna get in there. 2 heroes down on the side of Vega Squadron with nobody dying on the side of Anji. And that fight was really long. And you guys remember what I said during the draft? That generally long fights, they favor the Bristleback. This was very well played by Anji, and that even though, you know, the black hole got interrupted, it was very unfortunate. They played it fairly well. I think the black hole was interrupted. That's good for Vega Squadron. The Lion still got his spells off before dying. That's good for Vega Squadron. And they didn't manage to win the fight. They didn't manage to get a kill. Their damage is gradual, and most of it is not focused on a single person. And that is what hurt them that fight. There were a lot of people that were very low, but nobody died. They can't focus fire someone. Or at least not as good as Anji. They will get that second Aegis though. That means cheese as well. That means them bottom lane is getting a bit of pressure there, but should be fine. And something that I look towards every time Trine's in the game. When you're playing Trine, the towers are your babies. You gotta try to heal up the towers all the time, because that's your family. And in Dota 1, that actually was your family. You actually were a tower. This guy was a tower, so he's gotta heal them. He's gotta keep them. He's gotta keep them safe. And you see instantly that the towers are also very healthy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Silence. Here I am.
Oh, hello. That is a gem on the puck. Try to juke it out. This is where an axe comes into play. Oh, they jump back. Overgrowth will be able to still orb forward. This Treant though, he's gonna try to TP out, but yeah, you can't do that. That is not possible. Yules from puck coming out, a nice kill. What happens to the babies? Oh, they sink to the floor too. And without a Treant protector, this tower is vulnerable, and they might just abuse that fact. Also, Aegis or not, without the tree and that overgrowth, there's nobody to stop Black Hole and BKB from the Enigma, and he's got it up again. He wants to use it. Nice glimpse back. Kinetic field. Stuck in there for a bit. Tower ends up dropping. Teleport. Bristleback teleports very boldly onto the tower. They might be able to get the deny on this tower as well. Nope, they don't. The bear still gets it. And it's only the bear that they needed to risk. And even that bear is too sturdy. He doesn't end up dead. The Dream Call gets used so that the chase doesn't really happen. Silent. Surged up. Looking for a Hex. Ooh, he can't find that. He's stuck. Doesn't take that much damage. There's a regen rune as well, but yeah, Lion will make sure he has that. He blinks forward. He hexes still the disruptor. Oh. Left behind. Left behind. It's very sad. Support life. What was he still doing there? He didn't have mana to TP out. That's what he was still doing there. He used the last bit of mana to get the Static Storm and Kinetic Field out. Well, one more tier 2 tower left standing on the side of Anji, and that tier 2 tower is the tower that is looking to be pressured soon. After that, maybe not right now, because they don't have a Lion right now, and they might also lose their Death Prophet. He actually pops BKB for this. Doesn't use his exorcism, still has the cheese. Aegis is still there as well. Could they try to fight without the Lion? I don't think so. But that BKB charge was the first one. Felt like it was needed. Well, this tower still stands. It is a very odd game because there's obviously 5 towers down on the side of Anji, and there's still 4 towers standing on the side of Vega. There's only 2 down on that side, and that's all of course contributing to, well, first the Death Prophet push potential on the side of Vega's squadron, and also Tree and Protector constantly healing the trees, so every bit of siege damage that is done gets healed back up again. But make sure that this net worth, if you look at it and you see that it's fairly even, the extra gold coming the way of Vega Squadron, the towers that they have over the towers that Anji has taken, that is not even that difference. That as in, well, does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense. Wait a second. This disruptor is very sad. One more quill spray should do the trick. There you go. But yeah, the extra towers that Vega Squadron has taken gives them a little bit of an edge in gold, but if they didn't have those towers, they wouldn't be ahead. And that means that the towers standing on the side of Vega Squadron themselves are just has money waiting to happen for Anji, and that means that they could easily catch back up if they get some objectives there. At least catch back up in terms of gold. So they get the tier 2, that was the last outer tower. Next job, whittling down tier 3 towers. Slowly but steadily, unless they win a massive team fight. But so far, all the team fights that we have seen, slightly been in favor of Anji. And even though it's never been a wipe, it's never been super high, like awesome, oh my god, this team definitely won the fight, it's amazing, full 5-man team wipe. It's not happening. Unless somebody plays it very poorly on one side and very good on the other side, which can happen. It's still Dota after all. Anything can happen for sure. Let's see if Vega can get this fight going their way. The silence is already there up on the line. Yes, he back off. Surge will help him make sure that he doesn't get an entangle, doesn't get burned down by the Spirit Bear. Spirit Bear does continue going for this tower. Fortification gets forced out as well. Bear has to be careful getting some minus armor there. And then the question is Vega gonna chase? Doesn't look like that right now. They're hanging back, they're waiting. Both teams, they really want to fight, but they only want to fight on their terms. And it sounds so simple to only fight on your terms. You gotta have something that I believe Anji is in control of right now, and that's the vision. The pipe being made by No Fear. Still no Ags, but whenever it's nighttime, Anji is the one that has the vision. Every single time. Especially when it's darkness. At that point, Vega should not be intending to fight. But yeah, the tier 1 tower lives. It was almost down. Now it gets healed up again by the Tree and Protector. That's Anji's problem. They can't whittle down towers. They have to take them down. And if they don't, well then they're gonna get healed up again. They have to try again from the start the next time. But it's daytime. And daytime is the time where Vega Squadron, if they really want to, they could try to make something happen here. Never mind. It is darkness. And it happens to be darkness at the same time as Vega Squadron smokes. This is risky because their vision is minimal with darkness on. Nice blink. They find Disruptor. They kill Disruptor. But in the meantime, the bear is pushing out bottom lane. Mid lane is pushed out by creeps. Top lane is pushed out by the rest of Anji. And that means that even though they got a 5-man smoke and they were ready to try and force down some teleports to try and make sure maybe some tower damage gets taken or something on a tier 3 bottom, they can't. Bear is making sure that's not going to happen.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But maybe Anji can make something happen. Silence again on this lion. Line dead. There's no doubt about that one. BKB gets popped by G because he has to get out of there. Aloha Dance coming forward. This is Bristleback. He's quite fat. But he can still die. He has to still be careful. They wrap around. Still wanted to go for the Bristleback, or perhaps for G, who doesn't have his BKB anymore. Nice silence. Coming out just in time. Life Siphon on there as well. Midnight Pulse very well positioned by Yoki, who's waiting back, seeing if he can get that black hole going. He just has to make sure that that black hole catches Aloha Dance. Bear gets denied by No Fear. And re-summoned as well. There was still a second bear. Pikachu still close by. They still want to take this. But in the meantime, the heals are up. Ooh, smoke from behind the back lines. Yoki, gotta be careful there. Jumps forward. It doesn't look like Anji wants to do this. It's too risky. There's also still Cheese. Remember, Cheese on G and his BKB is almost off cooldown again, so too risky. Too risky indeed. Line being back, that's how it all started. The kill on the line. And look at this. Tier 1 tower. Full on health. It's beautiful. If you're a Tree Protector, you're enjoying this game. Dream Protector player, that is. I'm not sure if this Dream Protector is enjoying the game. I would imagine so. He's having a fine game, actually. Oh, he's so speedy, but not speedy enough to catch up with the speedy Night Stalker. Gotta be careful. That Puck still has a gem as well, so he knows if you're close. Hey, look at this. We've seen this before. Anji coming back to the mid lane. They really, really want to try and take down this tier 1 tower. But I don't think Bristleback's gonna let that happen. Aloha Dance is standing guard. Standing guard, indeed. Ah, spell life seal. Enigma on the bottom lane managed to finish up his Octarine Core, and he's gonna get a lot of health back from that Midnight Pulse if the Bristleback's in there, by the way, or Dark's here for that matter as well, fairly tanky as well. But mostly Bristleback is gonna get a lot of health back from that. I have to say, the vision coming out from Vega Squadron is a bit poor at this time. Look at this. Oh. Look at this, rather. This is the only ward they have standing, together with the sentry. It's really not that amazing. They lost control over their own jungle on both sides of the map. Now get an extra ward out over there. And of course, a gem is not really helping on that front, a gem from the Puck. But still, normally... Wait a second. Darkness coming out. They know there's Bristleback's in there. Question is, are they going to do something about it? Where's that Midnight Pulse? That's the thing that I'm waiting for. Midnight Pulse under the Roche. They get the wards. Maybe they get a tier 1 tower finally. Look at this. They're like, you take Aegis? Sure, we take your tower. But with this Aegis, they surely can fight. They're coming in though. The tower ended up still dying. The Aegis gets picked up by Aloha Dance. Nobody's fighting. They took the tower, the tier 1 tower. That means that the vision map that I just showed you just got a little bit smaller again for Vega Squadron. They are losing map control fast. Looking at the map control from Anji, it looks pretty healthy. And on top of that, they got a Night Stalker, which makes it even worse for Vega Squadron. And they're slightly struggling at this point. But they know they need to do something. They've got their own gem right now as well, and that will help a bit. Although, not really sure if they can get that much map control back though. Well, let's see if they can make something happen. They have the lone druid. Not really in sight, but they know he's in the jungle. They saw him walking past and they find him as well. There's a teleport coming in. That is a puck. Blinks to the back of the fight instantly. They will still be able to kill off the lone druid. Let's see what this puck is doing. He got the dream coil out. Silence. Hits. Is there a hex available? No, not yet. This just right clicks. There's the Yules coming out from the puck himself. Might be able to phase shift and maybe blink out again after as well. Yules coming out from Death Prophet. Probably tried to use himself. Didn't manage to do that. Puck ended up jumping to the high ground. There was a Dire Courier in that fight. Dire Courier ended up dying. Not that one. But this one, this courier ended up dying. He had a tome in it. And the tome was going to the puck, and the puck was getting chased. So, unfortunately for him. This is a very greedy puck. Does he really need that level? Level 22? Give it to the Disruptor. Disruptor is level 14. Getting him to level 15. Getting him his second talent. Wait a second. Come on, Bristleback. I know you got an Aegis. Doesn't mean that you need to die. He's actually very tanky right now. Look at this. He can just stand there tanking all the things.
Not so fast.
This tower slowly taking down a lot of damage. Looks like they might be able to get the Aegis. No, they just feed him the cheese. He's fine. He still has the Aegis as well. They might be able to go in that. But Lone Druid is back again in 5 seconds. Only downside for him is he'll only have 1 bear. That is a downside. He'll summon the bear. He will teleport towards that mid lane. And he'll look for some entangles, most likely, seeing if he can find some. But you have to be so careful if you only have 1 bear. All this net worth in that 1 bear. If that bear dies, well, this Lone Druid is going to be very lonely. Alright. They're still here. Exorcism is up. There's another cheese. In comes the wall. Up on the Lone Druid again. They know that if he would get back then, doesn't have a bear. Will have a buyback though, I think. And the Aegis, of course, still there. The tier 3 that ended up dropping. Is that enough for Vega Squadron? Are they gonna want more? They do want more. Oh, Night Stalker. Be careful there, buddy. No fear is taking a lot of damage here. This might actually be the end of him. 1 more quiz. No, he doesn't get it off. He gets silenced off, and the Night Stalker will end up popping a shrine and live. Oh. He's fine. Still has that Aegis, of course. How do you deal with this Bristleback? He gets a mechanism heal as well. They're just continuing whittling down the buildings, and they're actually going for the melee racks. They're comfortable enough that they will stand here for as long as it takes. They're all stuck in the kinetic field, and the BKB is not yet there for the Disruptor. The Overgrowth does cancel off the black hole. This Enigma, he has to try to get out again. The Aegis did get popped. Bristleback back in the fray. Goes for the barracks, though. In the meantime, nobody died. They're just taking the towers, and they're just making sure that the melee racks go down. Lone Druid comes back from base. Doesn't have a bear. Where's this bear? He can summon one. There it is. They know that the Aegis is down now. This is their time to fight. Exorcism is down. But if they lose this fight, they're going to lose way more than 1 set of racks. So they got to be careful. They got to be very careful. And they got to make sure that they take the Bristleback out first. This bear is attacking very fast. It needs to get more entangles. Doesn't find them. This Lion weaving in and out, getting those impales on all multiple targets. all the time. Pikachu trying to get himself out. Shuvash also running away from his own illusion. In the meantime, Death Prophet manages to eat the cheese and live just fine after having the second exorcism in the fight. And now it's time for the range strikes. Night Stalker ended up dying and all of that. That means that there's finally an advantage, a clear advantage for one of the teams, meaning Vega Squadron, of course, other than the Ages and the Gs that they had in their team. But they get the racks, and now they finally move off. And this this scenario right here is what I mentioned during the draft. We're getting to a point where the fights last really long, especially if you have an Ages and multiple cheeses. That was definitely a factor there as well. And Vega Squadron is very sturdy, especially that Bristleback is very sturdy. Elodance can just take the front lines and just not die, and towers will fall slowly but steadily. They fell, and that was a fight where there were 2 exorcisms. And I complained earlier, well, I didn't actually complain, but I mentioned earlier that Vega Squadron didn't have any fire, focused fire that they can spew out in fights. At this point, Anji's focused fire is not enough anymore either to take down the Bristleback anymore, which they did do at the start of the game, so they need to find a different way. And I think they still need to get a Silver Edge to try and help out. There. I had to cough the whole time. I coughed this time. Scream Call comes out. Lion. Oh, he's the first one out. He gets targeted so hard. Manages to use himself up in the air, laying some of the damage. Manages to blink out, actually. Very nicely done. And it's the Disruptor himself that dies to this BK beat Bristleback. Now Night Stalker getting an overgrowth. He has the gem for his team, which he will lose. 2 down. Vega Squadron, they're marching down mid. They're looking for more. They're looking for Anji. And they are going to get him. Or they're going to get the bear anyway. Poor bear. 300 gold going the way of Disruptor. Not Disruptor. Death Prophet. Close enough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Next lane of racks. No backdoor protection as mid was pushed in. And that is another tower down. I was already going for the racks. The silence coming out. Doesn't really matter. Death Prophet's fine. I mean, who's gonna jump this? Who's gonna want to jump this? It is daytime again as well, so Night Stalker doesn't have as much impact, and his darkness is on cooldown for another minute. In the meantime, bottom lane is pushed in. No exorcism right now. It means that Vega Squadron is gonna give Anji a little bit of breathing space, but it's not looking good for them, you guys. Not at all. We got the net worth is not even that big of a difference, but again, the towers and the buildings, that is a massive difference. Lone Druid still on top of the net worth, but what's that net worth worth if you don't have a bear that carries all your items? Whew. Anji is in a really tough spot now. Let's think about what they need to do to make sure that they can get back into this game, because yes, we know that Anji is in a tough spot. We can see the mini-map. So their way back into this game is gonna come from basically doing what they did earlier as well. So that means that Enigma has to send his Eidolons to push the waves out. Lone Druid Bear has to push the wave out. And then when that's done, which they did, the waves are pushed out right now, they smoke and they need to get a pick off. They need to fight outside of their base, because they fight in their base, that's not good. Yule Scepter up, Bristleback is not really the right person to find. They ended up finding the Lion though, but he uses himself up in the air and gives time for the Bristleback to come around. Vacuum wall to the Impale, really nicely coordinated by Vega Squadron. The Black Hole comes out, but the Overgrowth as well. Refresher Black Hole, is it enough? Yoki is taking a lot of damage from that exorcism, and the Death Prophet is not taking that much damage herself, or maybe standing on that Midnight Pulse is definitely not good for your health. Use up in the air, the GG is cold. They don't want to do this anymore. Vega Squadron victorious. And Anji, after having a pretty decent start, not able to take down that Bristleback, and even the Refresher Black Hole not able to make anything happen during that Black Hole. They got they had some really nice black holes, but the interruptions were just a little bit too much. But Vega Squadron take the first game. We are going to move forward to our next game. And our next game is Navi versus M19. So we'll be right back with more Dota 2. Stay tuned.